Path of Nowhere has finally spread their wings, but in a different way that you might not expect. They decided to make various sinner designs starting from Snake, Lolly, and now Dragon. Path of Nowhere has finally announced their new Asteroid Sinner Etty. In this video, we will discuss about Etty's skill set and also should you save your hypercubes for her in the future. Etty is the new S-Rank Arcane which has been released in Chinese version almost a week ago. Since she's the new S-Rank Arcane, people were hyped because she might be the new meta that will power creep Irian. So let's start with her characteristics because her characteristics plays an important role in Etty's skillset in general. Every time Etty does her basic attack, there is 10% chance that a Tiansu will be formed to attack the enemy as well. That's her characteristics. Now moving on to her Mania Intensify, it simply increases Etty's characteristics chance by 5%. Now you might be wondering what the hell is this Tiansu really is. We will dive into it after we discuss about her ultimate. Etty's ultimate, Domination, costs 30 energies. Etty creates a constellation in a designated area that will generate 6 to 8 Tiansu depending on the ultimate level. Each Tiansu will deal 240% magic damage of Etty's attack to random enemy that's situated in this area, similar to Langlei's ultimate. Upgrading her ultimate to level 8 is very important because it increases not only her ultimate's damage multiplier but also her ultimate's hit count. So what is this Tiansu and constellation thing? To make this simple, constellation is the rain, and Tiansu is the raindrop, as simple as that. So the constellation generates several Tiansu. Now moving on to her first passive, Acceleration. When Etty triggers her characteristic, she will receive 40% attack speed buff for 10 seconds. Additionally, generate one more Tiansu when she casts her ultimate next time, up to 4, which this effect will be reset afterward. You can check your acceleration status simply by checking the thing that orbits around Etty. I don't know what word should I use at this point, but whatever. This passive does two great things. First, it allows Etty to activate her characteristics faster since it increases her attack speed, and you can only activate her characteristic from her basic attack. Second, this passive allows Etty to deal even more damage. Let's say you have Etty's ultimate at max level. By default, the damage given to your enemies will be 240% times 8. Thanks to this passive, now you can deal up to 240% times 12, 1920% against 2880%, which is very huge difference. Her characteristics, her ultimate and her first passive looks great. Now let's see her second passive, Rules of the Game. During the battle, there is a 5% chance that a gemstone will be dropped from the enemy when they dies. All sinners can pick up this gemstone after a moment on the tile, and the gemstone's effect will last for 12 seconds. You might be realized just now by how much gacha skills that Etty has, and you're right about it. Her characteristics chance is 15% and the chance of gem dropping is only 5%, which is very low. Don't forget that we have 3 different gems too here, which makes the rate even worse in some conditions. This skill set is pretty similar to Roleka with her magic bullet thing, where if you're lucky then she can deal huge damage, but if you're not lucky enough then you will only deal lesser damage. At this point I would call her second passive doesn't even exist due to how low the rate really are. Now moving on to her exclusive crime brand, Dragon and its creator. After Tiansu hits an enemy, the attack enemy will receive 12% or 16% or 20% increased damage from Tiansu for 15 seconds. This effect can stack up to 4 times. This exclusive command is simple but surprisingly great. Increase enemies damage taken from Tiansu by 48% to 80% for 15 seconds is very huge, and since she can also release Tiansu when doing basic attack, this makes it even better. Moving on to her shackles, just like most other sinners, having them at first shackle is pretty much everything you need. At this first shackle, increase Tiansu from ultimate by 3. So if you have her ultimate at level 10, it can now deliver 11 Tiansu instead of 8. Also, if you have her first passive at max stack, then it will be 15 Tiansu on a single ultimate, which is 3600% magic damage. Her third Shackles increases her characteristic rate by 10%, and her fourth Shackles allows Etty to immediately generate 3 types of gemstone on the field at the beginning of the round. Overall, I think you only need 3 of her Shackles. You don't need to go further than that. Her most valuable Shackles will be her first Shackle for sure. So is it worth it to pull for her? In my opinion, she's still kinda worth pulling for. However, I personally don't really like her gacha skills, and I'm still considering whether to pull her or not. Gacha skill is an absolute no for me every time I play any RPG game, no matter how OP the character is. If her gacha skill doesn't bother you at all, then she's worth pulling for even if you have Irene. Both will do great in the same team. Anyways, that's all for today. Goodbye.